Guys, what's going on? Day 5 here, evening time. I'm feeling great. First day, fantastic. But the point of this video is to let you guys know how my consultation experience went at the DHT Clinic. It was about 6 weeks ago that I went in for the consultation. Now, the pretext for this was that I had just had another consultation at another local hair clinic by the name of HHH about a day or two before that. And this one, like I mentioned in another video, was, as I put it, in stark contrast to the one that I had at HHH. Another thing I said was that typically I like to weigh 3 options, especially in like a major procedure like this. But this was the second place and the last place that I visited because I'm not going to go so far as to say blown away, but thoroughly impressed. Enough so that I didn't even feel the need to exercise, a third option and look for and pay for another consultation and stuff. Sometimes when you're searching, you're like, okay, I found the right one. There's no need to continue. That would just be like a waste of time. So they're definitely earning it over there at DHT, I must say. So one thing that I liked, and that was quite different from the first place that I went to, is they have more of like a regimented, standardized protocol for when people go in to do the consultation. One, I mean, the clinic is nicer. I mean, also, which is quite important, the people that work there, the assistants, the people that work under the doctor, just are on another level compared to what I saw at the other clinic. And they take the time to explain to you about the process. To be honest, I already knew some of the stuff, but I still appreciated the gesture because I know not everyone is operating on the same level of information when it comes to hair transplants. So them just making sure that I knew that stuff was still appreciated, and I definitely learned some new things. They showed me a lot of charts and graphs and some albums that they have, them like before and after stuff. I spoke with some of his staff. They're well spoken. They speak great English. They're friendly. Emily and some of the other people that work there, they were definitely very welcoming. So it left a good impression. I spoke with the doctor personally. They had more advanced like instruments and tools. I'll give you an example. One, they drew the hairline on me, so that's like basic standard probably wherever you go, and that's the only thing they did for me at the first place that I went to. Bear in mind the consultation fees were the same for both places. You're going to need to pay 1,000 just to get that consultation. The other thing they did was they went in and they actually measured, how many square centimeters and grafts would be necessary in order to attain a more accurate estimate of my procedure cost and the graphs and all those details and stuff. So they put a little bit old school, but it's still effective. They put it's like a saran wrap thing over your head, and then they simply use a marker to trace out the proposed hairline and the surface area, and then they take off the saran wrap, and they're much more easily able to assess how much is actually needed. Another cool instrument that they used was they had like a microscope. Basically, they put it in your hair, and it allows them to count how many grafts per square centimeter that you have, as well as to see and get a close-up of the thickness of your hair. So they put it on the side and on the top, and the hair on my top was much thinner, and I was definitely able to see up close on their computer monitor just how much thinner my hair is at a microscopic view, because with the naked eye you won't be able to see that much. I mean, you can tell, but it's not nearly the same level of detail. So they did some other good stuff like that, and it was just nice. Everything overall, I didn't have any of the same problems that I had from the first consultation clinic that I went to. I also got the impression, based on what I've read, this guy's stellar reviews, and there's like a waiting list to see him, which it's somewhat counterintuitive. But I don't want to go to, if you're thinking about a restaurant, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a line at this restaurant. It's a little busy. You'll have to wait, 10 to 15 minutes. But there's a reason it's busy. There's a reason there's a line, and there's a reason everyone else is waiting there. Whereas, right next door, there's another restaurant and it's empty. It doesn't look as nice. The workers, they're not the same. The uniforms aren't like as sharp. And so that's the metaphor that I wanted to make. So that's why I thought that was a positive thing, when basically I knew the wait was going to be longer, and they weren't trying to maybe cut me a deal or anything like that, like the first clinic that I went to. That's kind of the impression that I got. That's not always a bad thing, but it's up to you. That's just information for you to process and decide about yourself. But personally, when it comes to getting surgery, operation stuff, I'm just trying to go with the highest quality. So the price is, it's not irrespective, but it's definitely not towards the top of the list. So I like that. It seems like he's stacked up for a reason. He has all this. He has a great reputation, and seems like he has a lot going on. So those are the things that I quite enjoyed about my consultation experience there at DHT Clinic. Needless to say, they didn't mess up when they were charging my credit card. Like the first place I went to, they didn't print out some stuff that didn't even staple together correctly. They followed up with me via email. The questions that I had, they answered promptly, typically on same day and stuff. So they were definitely on the ball. And shortly thereafter, I sent them the $1,000 for the deposit, and then for the rest of the stuff. So they definitely won me over. And of course, the consultations where you can just get a feel. I'm lucky because I live in Bangkok currently, so I was able to go over there. And I really wanted to go and meet the people and go into their office and do that myself. I will say, initially I thought it would just be like a slight insight or advantage, but after having gone to 2 clinics, man, if you're just going based on what you see online and the image, the cover that's presented through a website, it's not anywhere near the same level of transparency and what you're able to discern going into the office, speaking to the doctor, speaking to their staff, seeing their clinic and all their facilities and stuff. So after that, if I saw those 2 online, I would think, oh, they're similar, same category. When I went to see them in real life, they're light years, they're millennia apart. So just keep that in mind. Hope this information has been helpful for some of you guys, and that someone can use it. But other than that, I had a great experience there, and I would not hesitate to recommend Dr. Pat and his team at DHT Clinic to anyone looking for hair transplant. Again, I'm on day 5. You guys check me out. I'll definitely be making another video to update you guys on the progress. All right, let's talk soon. Take care.